That'd be a hard loss for both of you guys. Just looking back, I mean, what's the response been here over the last 48 hours, though? What have you guys seen in the locker room? How have you guys turned the page, or have you yet? Either one of you that wants to.
Yeah, basically just flush it. I mean, you can't dwell on it too long. Can't pity yourself. If you do that, it follows in this week. You know, you can't let it follow in this week because we're already on Tuesday. So you got to prep for FIU. You got to get that out the way. No matter what you do, you can't go back and change how you played or what happens. So basically just rallying the guys and, you know, yeah, maybe a conference championship is out of reach, but a bowl game isn't. And we haven't won a bowl game here in a few years, so that's at the top of the list.
And then kind of just adding on that, like you said, you just got to find a way to continue to get better and to grow as a program. You know, we want to send the older guys off on the right page with the win and a bowl game win, so we just got to focus on this next week, this next game, and just move forward.
Yeah, Coach talked about the bowl game and that being important. I haven't won one since 21. I mean, do you get a sense that that's a feeling throughout the locker room that everyone's kind of focusing on that now as the big goal?
I do. I think anytime you have a chance to go win a bowl game or a championship and get a ring, that's always the goal. Especially go out on a good note for these seniors. So yeah.
Offensively, you know, Coach mentioned some drops in the game this past week, just inconsistencies. At this point, I mean, how are you guys addressing that offensively? You know, just trying to fix some of that here for the stretch run. Are some of those things fixable at this point?
I do. I think anything's fixable. Accountability is the biggest part. Getting the guys and getting their extra work in and making sure they're catching balls, catching jugs. And, you know, it's not easy, but football isn't easy. So, you know, like I said, you can't dwell on it. Like, you just got to go back to work, put your head down, and get ready for this week.
Do you feel like it's been the same things offensively, or has it been different things throughout the year? Like, how would you kind of assess, like, what it's been when you guys have struggled? What's been kind of the central threat?
Yeah, it's just little details that have just kept us from being very good. We've been just average a lot, and it's not like a big problem. It's just little details here and there when you watch the film, and everybody's playing their tails off. Like, effort's not a problem. It's just, you know, our job as players is to execute the plays that the coaches call, and we're just, you know, not doing the best that we can do at that right now.
Are there things that you guys can do in practice or in preparation? And if so, what are they that you can do to try to fine-tune the little things so that they come naturally in the game?
Yeah, go back on what I said a minute ago about working on your craft outside of practice. You know, you only have a certain amount of time during practice, and, you know, it's kind of hard to explain, but you don't rep every single play in practice because we just don't have that much time. So the plays you know that you struggle at, you kind of have to go on your own and even watch film on those plays that you didn't do as well and kind of correct it that way. So that's a way that you can, you know, get better at them.
How much does that involve communicating, whether it's getting with quarterback, with other positions as well, to make sure that you've got somebody that can make sure those things go off?
Yeah, for receivers and, you know, catching the ball and, you know, timing and stuff with the quarterback, we probably work the quarterbacks more than we do anybody else. Now, the quarterback and the O-line or the running backs and O-line, you know, they have their deal. So me being a receiver, you know, anytime that we have a weird feeling about, you know, a route or a concept, you know, we get with them and, you know, talk it over. We watch film and say, hey, you know, defense is going to do this. Like, what would you do? And try and figure it out that way.
Aidan, on that last drive where they go 4 plays and score the go-ahead touchdown, did it feel like you guys were kind of on your heels a little bit and trying to almost catch up to what they were trying to do to you guys on that drive specifically?
No, I just feel like it all just comes down to execution. You know, when the defense is on the field and we have a chance to end the game, we just got to come out stronger going forward, and that's all it is. You know, we got to take extreme accountability for what we did and grow and get better moving forward.
Do you feel like with Carter out, and obviously you guys missed Farrar this past week, do you guys feel like you played a pretty good game, specifically at your position?
Yeah, at linebacker, I think we played a good game. I think, you know, we're just having the next man up mindset, and just everyone's working on doing their best and executing to the highest level they can. Joe and Darrell, they're great players, and having them out is definitely tough on the team, but I think the linebacker room in general is doing a great job of just having the next man up mentality and executing to the highest level that they can.
Obviously, Darrell didn't play this past week, but he played a couple weeks ago. You guys are still trying to figure it out, without Joseph Carter there. What are some of the improvements that you saw from the first game without Joseph Carter to this game? And some of the areas that you still feel like the linebacker group, maybe needs to get a little bit better at, these last 3 games?
I would say a big area of improvement is just being more aggressive, coming downhill more and taking our shot, just making those plays when the opportunities come up. Everyone's executing at a good level and doing their job, but just taking the next step and making those bigger plays for the team.
And you played alongside Delano Galata a pretty good amount the other night. What have you seen from him? He's a redshirt freshman. First chance to get some real playing time. What have you seen from him? Playing beside him.
I love Delano. He's a great player and he has a great mindset. He's always trying to get better and has a great work ethic. And he's just really taking the next step, being able to execute, communicate, and do all the necessary things a linebacker needs to do on the field. And I'm really proud of him and happy to see how far he's came and just can't wait to see how far he goes.
Reese, you had a nice game this past week. Multiple catches, first time in a few weeks. I mean, Ethan had some struggles. He had a really good game last week. It's just been some inconsistency. What can you do as a receiver? What do the receivers do as a whole to help him? When not every throw is perfect, and maybe the other team has an interception or drops one or something. How can you guys, or what are some of the things that you do to try to help him and the offense?
I think the biggest thing that, I try to focus on is get open and catch the ball. Be a reliability option that he can always count on. When a quarterback knows that he can trust you and knows that you're going to make a play when he throws you the ball. I don't play quarterback, but I'm guessing that is, a big confidence booster for him, knowing that the play is going to be completed. So, for the receiver as a whole, for the receivers as a whole, I think getting open and catching the ball, making plays, blocking on the perimeter, just getting a drive started for the offense or finishing a drive or key plays down the stretch is the biggest thing for a quarterback that he can, trust us.
How important is that first play of a drive, especially if it's a pass play, just to get something rolling there?
Yeah, it's huge. Like, if you watch the first drive of the last game, we had, I don't know how many catches Dante had on the first drive, but it was 2 or 3. And that started right there, like that, just huge momentum builder, like just going into the second drive when him and Ethan were just connecting like that. That's just those little things right there is what can take us over the top.
Aidan, what about FIU? I mean, they put up 50-some points with I don't want to call him a backup quarterback. He's played a good bit, but he's not the starter. I mean, what takeaways do you have from them early on?
Early on, I would just say we need to have good eyes. We need to play with good execution and just come out dominant. Our front seven needs to be dominant, and then back end just needs to play aggressive and play the way that they can play.